Welcome back. I think you can hear me better right now. Oh my gosh, there's an echo. How about this? Okay, I hope we are fine right now, and I think this should be working fine finally. I hope. And let me just double check on the live stream and make sure you guys are hearing me really good. All right. Do you guys still get an echo? Wow, is there still an echo right now? No? Better right now? Yes, finally. Okay, we are back on September 11th, 2022. Time check right now is 10:42 Singapore time, 10:42 p.m. Singapore time, and thank you guys for joining me live. And we had a little technical glitch just now. I hope we didn't lose most of you out there. And let me just check on the live chat right now. Okay, so everyone is good. Yes, let me just say something on the live chat. Right, hang on a minute. Live chat, where are we right now? Okay, here we go. Welcome back. Finally, it's working fine, and let me just do some adjustments right here. Oops. Welcome. All right. So if you are watching us live, you can go to the live chat right now on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube, and I look forward to seeing your message. Let's see if we can- Okay. Are you guys able to post live stream on the chat right now? I think we lost quite a number of you just now. Okay, so good. I see CK and still got echo. Holy moly! Are you sure still got echo? Oh yeah, there's still echo. I'm not too sure how to stop this right now. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. Um, is it perfect right now? Can y'all just let me know? Is the sound working fine? If it's fine, just say good on the chat, and I know you're fine. Fine, all right. Sunday, I'm all alone. No one is helping me. Okay, Kini, good now. No more echo, right? Okay, finally it's working. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to cover today quite an important piece of coverage, and I changed the format recently just to make sure you will pick your best choice of the article, and then I will also find mine and see whether there's a match or not. All right. So you're hearing strength 3 by 4. Not too sure what it means by that, Ronnie. Okay, just make do with it. I'm really totally lost what to do, what else I can do to improve on the audio, right? So just have to bear with it. Okay, so I hope it's sounding good for everyone, and let's dive into the key topic for today. Okay, my apologies if this is not ideal and not perfect. By the way, I want to deal with ideal and perfect today before I dive into the actual topic. And I realized since I've been going live starting 1st of July until right now, I realized that we have three categories of audience, and I want to speak about these three categories of audience. This is really really important to me. All right, so let me type it out. There are three categories of audience watching our live stream. Right, so I want to put this message out, and I want to address this before I go any further to talk about the actual contents itself. All right. So let's talk about the three categories of audience. The first category is what I call my most beloved fans or students that regardless of whatever happens to the echo, to the sound, to whatever happens, you guys are always standing by to support your teacher, and I really, really appreciate that a lot, right? So I know you'll be there for me, thunder, lightning, thunder, and rain. You'll be down there cheering me on, and I really appreciate that. And that's the first key category of audience I'm really supporting for this daily live streaming. The second key category of audience is what I call uh, maybe Let me find a better choice of words. I would say maybe a little bit a whimsy. Sometimes they call it the CD bank customer, right? You are only there when when the in the good times and not in the bad times. All right. So what do I mean by that? When I give my best each of the live stream, sometimes depends on the market conditions and depends on what's the article I'm featuring on or the particular stocks I'm talking about. And you get the flow when we are able to connect dot one, dot two, dot three, and boom, epiphany, the hairstand moment, and they say we nail it, right? But I want to set expectation right. It's not possible for me to do this every single day, Mondays to Sundays on the live stream. Mission impossible. That will be setting too high an expectation, and as a result, sometimes I get feedback from the audience where on those days that I didn't deliver as good as the perfect ones, they say, "Oh, we are disappointed about this. We are upset about that." And you know, I will just have a message for the whimsy audience out there. Uh, Good luck. I'm gonna miss you. That's it. 3 words for you. I'm going to miss you. That's 4 words. Because I cannot meet your unrealistic expectation that you expect every episode to be a perfect epiphany moment. I don't set up myself that way to disappoint myself. All right. And I'm not very, very hard on myself on that note as well. And especially more so over the past 3 to 4 weeks, I've been away at Harvard and, almost every night I'm like Cinderella moment, when the clock starts at hits about 11 p.m. Boston time, I'm already semi-conscious already because my body was not adjusting properly due to the jet lag, due to the time zone difference, due to the cold weather, and many, many other things that I got to prepare for the class every day. So at about 11 p.m., I went into that Cinderella zone, and I'm talking like semi-conscious. And that's where, I start to get feedback from those whimsy, whimsy audience. They say, "Oh, you're not as your peak performance and all that." And I just say, "I'm going to miss you. Goodbye. Sayonara." Because I cannot be too hard on myself, and I don't want you to be too hard on me as my audience and set an unrealistic high bar or expectation. And I don't delight in that. So I want to be very clear. There's a second category of you out there who are expecting every moment to be like an epiphany moment. I can't deliver that. Then the third category of audience that we have are those who drop by, right? You drop by, just uh, watch for a while, and then after that you disappear. But maybe 2 to 3 weeks later, you come back, drop by again, watch for a while, then you disappear. That's where you drop by to get to know me and to got to hear the message that I'm delivering for that day itself. All right, so it's perfectly fine. Just I only have one request. All right, sometimes it's when the audience is very hard on themselves, not because of me, the teacher, but because your own life is very, very hard already, and you pass on that negative energy to other people around you, I just have to tell you, I'm going to miss you. Okay, so how's everybody? Are we having the best audience right here tonight? Hey, are we having the best audience right here tonight? Can you all say something on the live chat? Do we have the best audience tonight? Wow. Ding. And I fire that away. And if you are among the best audience for tonight, can you please respond? Yes. I got Kinip, the first one to respond. Thank you very much. So in this way, I don't set out to disappoint you or to disappoint myself, and you don't get upset with me. And sometimes I may not be at my peak performance, and I know that for myself, and I don't want to be too hard on myself, right? So I just very, very appreciate it that when I was away 3 to 4 weeks away in Boston, Many of you stuck on, come back every night to every morning just to watch on the YouTube live stream. I know who you are, and I tell you from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you very much. Thank you very, very much. All right. But for those of you who couldn't accept the Cinderella moment, I can only say I'm going to miss you. That's about it. Okay. So I click on that, and I'm just feel very happy. And I also want to share with you another thing on a Sunday. Sunday is a time of reflection. You know, Sunday is always the time where we rest for the weekend. Is For us, it's kind of like our Sabbath. We take a break, we reflect, prepare for the upcoming week. All right. So this Sunday, I got many great reflections, and I just share with you one reflection. And the reflection is time. Over time, you heal. Time will heal many ills. Right. So what do I mean by that? Before I fly off to Boston, in fact, one of the things I didn't share with a lot of you is that the actual night before my departure flight. All right. I departure on a Friday. So let's take it as the Thursday. The Thursday night, the night before the departure day, on Thursday night when I go to bed, I couldn't sleep. I was flipping. I was flipping until Friday morning about 5 a.m. I couldn't sleep. All right, because something was weighing down on me, and that was one very hard and long conversation I had with a person I would just call this person the mentor, right? Mentor. And I was flipping, and finally I took the courage at 5 a.m. in the morning. I sent this person a WhatsApp message. All right. And so the message goes out at about 5 a.m. And I know my mentor, he doesn't turn on his phone. Only when he wakes up in the morning, then he will switch on the phone, and all the messages will come in. So I know in a way I will not like cause his phone to vibrate or ring 5 a.m. in the morning. And true enough, uh, when he received my message was a very simple one. I merely asked him two very open-ended questions, something that is weighing down on me that I couldn't have the peace to sleep well that night. Maybe also my anxiety about going away for so long a period, about 3 to 4 weeks away from my home, from my family. So he saw my message on Friday morning. I think he woke up about 8 a.m. Then 9 a.m. came. One long message back to me. And that's the thing is, which I'm also learning, uh, all of us got seniors above us and got juniors below us. All right. So the senior above us are like our parents, our grandparents, people that we look up to. That's why, they're above us. That's why we look up to them, right? And of course, then there are those below us, which we call our juniors, which could be like our children or our nieces and nephews and all that, right? So we look down because they are junior, all right? So what happens when a senior reply to you with a very long message? It's like almost like scolding you. Ta, 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 ta. then me, the junior, I can only, there's a description for that called suck thumb. Keep quiet and don't respond. And that's exactly what I did. On my flight to US, on the day I received that very long message, I say, okay, let's pray about it. Do not respond. Do not respond in a haste in case I write something wrong. And I didn't respond. In fact, I didn't respond throughout until I came back to Singapore. And today I want to share with you, and of course, both parties have that angst, right? I think the senior wrote back to me a very long response, expected me to respond back, but I took the decision not to respond at all. I say let time play out, and let's see how this relationship will evolve. And true enough, when I came back to Singapore, I returned back this week, and 1 week has passed already, and the senior took the approach to reach out to me again and kind of restarted the relationship. And I thought about it. I thought about it. I believe many of you also have such encounterment. Now, there are probably three reactions from a similar encounter like mine. Number one would be you have an immediate outburst. You feel that you are justified to go all out and fight the fella or respond in anger or, throw some nasty words across the WhatsApp. Uh, that could be one of your responses. And always when you do that, you will regret. Right? How many of you know I'm talking about? You regret big time because you said something in haste, you said something in anger, or could even be vulgarities. And you would always regret that moment in time when you did it. And sometimes relationship is so fragile, you do that in a haste, but once it's broken, cannot be restored. Or it could be restored, but it will take a long, long time, even much longer time, and it's going to be a very painful restoration. All right. So, if you know what I'm talking about, uh, that is choice number one. Now, choice number two, you didn't respond in a haste, but you put through a thoughtful process to say, I will respond point by point to everything he or she said to me in a very logical, argumentative manner. But you are not you're not like going to fight, but you just wanted to address every point. You take the reasoning being your ultimate end game, that you have a better reasoning than the other person, right? But many a times, relationship is not based on logical reasoning. It's based on the feeling or the emotion. So the logical reasoning, you may be right, but you lost the emotional appeal. So in actual fact, you have also lost. So tonight, getting a little bit like philosophical, getting a little bit of philosophy and talking a little bit deeper, right? And then the third choice is the choice I've taken. Don't respond at all and pray throughout the period. Just don't respond because you are dealing with someone who is your senior, not like your peer or your junior, but someone above you, right? It's your senior, grand senior. And I took that step. I say, better don't respond in case I say something wrong or, further misunderstanding or what. And let God take charge. And true enough, God will do his amazing work. Maybe put onto the person some remorse, some guilt, some reflection, some self-awareness. And the person finally reached back to me in kindness after a long duration of time, about 1 month. And that's my thought for today. I felt that I did the right thing by not responding in a hasty manner to someone who is my senior, and just being very respectful and mindful of that relationship. So I'm glad I did that correctly. And of course, let's see how this relationship will play out. Quite fascinating to me. If it plays out well, then it'll open up many doors. If it does not, then I just take it as another lesson to learn in life. All right. So that's my first sharing. Now the second sharing I want to do also on a Sunday, many reflection, right? And something that I'm also talking about the same person, but in a different context. How do you handle when someone that you respect highly uh, put forward to you that oh, this cannot be done forever, you cannot achieve that, this is not possible. It's like it's like they put what they cannot do onto you, but you guys know your teacher here, my mind is filled with anything is possible. I'm trained, and my psyche thinks that way. Anything is possible with God. That's how I made up. That's the psychology of my mind, right? Because first of all, if you really love lessons of the impossible, please go and read your Bible. There are so many stories of the great impossible, from Moses to King David. Many impossible stories, including Jabez. Many great stories found in the Bible. So I'm trained that way, where I know with man all things are impossible, but with God everything is possible. So I'm from Sunday school until now, my mind is like that. All right, there's no such thing as impossible. But the problem is when you deal with someone who is your senior and that person throw that down onto you, how do you handle that? All right. So I'm gonna test tonight question. I mean tonight, those of you who are watching live means you are sleepless night anyway. And by the way, I promise you, I'm going to give you a cure for your sleep apnea and your sleepless night. All right. So let me type it out. How? Let me How? Let me just type it out. Okay, hang on a minute. See, my keyboard is going crazy again. Hang on a minute. I gotta move here. Okay, hang on a minute. How do you handle someone who is your senior and who tells you all the impossibilities? Woohoo! Wow, very long word. How do you handle someone who is your senior and who tells you all the impossibilities? How do you handle that? I like to hear from the audience, and I hope you are just not watching for fun. I hope you're also taking part in this conversation with me. Let me play you some music and I can drink some water. Wow, I got some answers coming in from May. Treat it as a pint of salt. 左耳进右耳出，ding ding. Buy them a drink and sit them down. Let them know you're possible, J-Lo. So you watch too many Korean drama already. So the Korean drama always must drink down and drink the drink. CK, ignore and ask God for guidance. Get a new mentor. Okay, that's interesting. James, have faith, respect them as my senior and listening. Follow our heart and ignore the senior and prove them wrong. From Calvin, Jeanette, most likely this person do not have your Bible faith. Ronnie, Jeanette, well said, but this person also proclaimed that he or she is a Christian. But Ronnie, if you are right, try to reason with him to see your point of view. Um, yeah. For Michael, respect their opinion, then show them that it can be done by achieving it. Yes. Yeah, I'll give some comments about that, like proving them wrong and all that. But that takes time, right? To prove them wrong takes time. Just like, for example, let me finish all of you first. All the comments, I really appreciate all these good comments coming in. Jamie, acknowledged by myself is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Yes, that's my prayer. And Ryan, seek God help, commit to Him, and He'll show you the ways. From, from John, pray for them, and because with God, things impossible become possible. Different faith level. Uh, to prove them wrong takes time. All right. So, for example, I share with you my personal testimony. You know, some of you know about my story, and I'll be also releasing that in my upcoming new book, where at one stage, you know, people claim that I don't have the brain of a PhD, and And unfortunately, I got into some nasty situation. And looking back, it kind of I can really like just laugh it off, all right, because I gone through the period. It took me about uh, seven plus seven plus three. Took me about 10 years. All right, 201, 2000, yeah, from 2007 to 2017. Took me 10 years to prove the naysayers wrong when they say I don't have a brain of a PhD, and I did my PhD by University of Canberra, and I finally obtained my PhD in 2017. So proving people wrong takes time, and whether it's worth proving them wrong or not. All right. So back then I did my PhD not for myself, more for my children, right? To show to my children that if you stand by your principle, if you have to do it, you just have to do it, no matter how long it takes. And it took me 10 years to prove people wrong that you cannot, you know, anyway, that that is a teaser for you to read up my new book. Okay, so thank you very much for all your feedback. All of you are saying in a way, and I want you to express it out so that you are prepared when somebody who's your senior comes and tell you all the impossible things that you cannot achieve in life. And I can tell you, usually it's because of their own issues, nothing to do with you. But you need to know how to handle at the point in time when, boom, they keep one, two, three non-stop, keep, oops, I just dropped something. Okay, I've got to find, just drop my ring somewhere. Anyway, there's it. Yeah, I've got to find it. Sorry about that. So they will just keep coming after you with this thing not possible, that thing not possible. And in my mind, with God, all things are possible. And I hope that you pick up this teaching here tonight because what is the meaning of impossible? If you say any, if you say to anything or any particular event or a particular uh, achievement that you're going after, right? And you say no, it's impossible. Straight off, your mind is closed up already. So my life is full of miracles and full of possibilities. For example, you know, when I was in tonight, kind of nostalgic. When I was in a junior college, Victoria Junior College, right? That year, I remember very clearly. More than 2,000 people around my age, my peer group, applied to join the youth flying club because back then the movie of Top Gun is very popular. I mean, for those of you who just watch Maverick, I mean, Maverick is a must watch movie. I mean, it's so good, right? It's like 10, maybe 10 to 100 times better than the Top Gun I watched back then during my teenage years. And because of that movie, it kind of inspired one entire generation of pilot wannabes. So that year, there were about 2,000 applicants fighting to join the youth flying club because that is one of the paths to become a fighter pilot in Singapore. So 2,000 of us went, and out of 2,000, I remember 100 of us managed to get into the youth flying club to start the training. And from the 100 candidates or trainees that went through, they start to chop, 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 chop. Like the first few flight is straight away the instructor will put you through to experience the positive G. And that means they fly like this and suddenly take the plane vertical up and woo! And that one time, many of them got killed already because they vomit, they cannot handle the positive G and or they passed out. Exactly like what you see in the movie. And we were just flying a Cessna, not even a fighter jet. Right? Some people, the body just can't handle it. It's more about the physical attributes. So from that 100, we streamed down to about 10, right? The 10 that survived the first 20 sorties. So each time we go up, come down, is one sortie. So at the end of the 20 sorties, then they will decide again who will be selected to go for the solo flight. That means you really fly the plane on your own. So from the 10, 6 of us selected to go for the solo flight. I was one of the 6. And by the time the 6 of us completed the solo flight, we were formally invited to join the PPL program, which is the formal training to become a pilot. That's called a private pilot's license program. And I know back then I was not a gifted pilot. You know, the other 5 mates is like scoring like holy moly. Our perfect score of 5, they're like 4.5, 4.8, 4.4, and I'm just scoring like 3.7, 3.8, 3.6, something like a 3.5. You know, I know I'm not a gifted pilot, but I'm a damn hardworking pilot. So because I'm not gifted, then I work extra hard, right? So it's like even in my dreams, I think about flying. When I was attending classes in VJC, I was flying. Physically, I was there listening to lecture, but in my mind, I was flying a plane, right? Uh, so that year, 6 of us got our wings. I was one of the 6, and of course, I knew that I wanted to do it not because I wanted to become a pilot. Halfway through, I knew that I'm doing it because the instructor believed in me more than I believed in myself. And I can still remember his name very fondly. I hope he's watching it. His name is Captain Rahman. And he told me, Chiang, if you want to give yourself a chance, if you say yes, I will work alongside with you. And because of him, I said yes. And that's how I earned my pilot's wings. So, you know, I come from the background where anything is possible if you just apply your mind on it, even when you're not gifted. But flying really requires some certain level of natural gift. If you are just hardworking, then you cannot pass the test of the maverick. So if you go and watch the Top Gun movie, many of them are gifted pilots. I mean, that movie itself is already inspired by true story and true events. All right, so you're going to do some research about the movie. So what I want to say is this: if you close up your mind, then confirm whatever is the obstacle or the challenge or the achievement that you want to go for will be shut down immediately because your mind didn't even give you a chance to even dare to dream about it, right? But if you dare to open up your mind and you work hard towards it, then you got a chance, right? So that's the point I'm trying to say. Now, why I talk about this is because um, just like trading in the market, many of you come to watch the live stream, and many of you got your motivation, got your objective, got your perhaps even I can use another word, ulterior motive. Why do you want to come and watch a live stream? And in my mind, I always got 3 outcome one, right? And it's very simple to me. The positive outcome for those majority of you who are my students, the positive outcome is you want to come here, learn something from the teacher, and then treat me as a sparring partner to double check against your own investment thesis. And then both of us, we can trade together, go to the battlefield and kind of make money together. That is the joy of the teacher-student relationship. That's the positive one. The second group are those of you who are neutral. You're just not sure what to do with investing, not sure how to make money. You just come here, want to have an alternative view. And every of my episode, I try to bring you different alternative views. And if you like it, you stay on and we increase our viewership. There might also be a small minority of you who belong to the negative group. You are coming here just to find fault with me. If I'm not in my peak, you say, "Oh yeah, waste time." You talk until you like zone out in when you're in Boston. And let me tell you guys, I get this kind of comments. All right, I can't believe it. People who just throw stones at you and not appreciate the fact that physically I was already so exhausted every night at Boston, but I press on to deliver the live stream. Right? So I'll just have to say to those negative people, I'm going to miss you. All right. Okay. So I'm done on the sharing on a Sunday. And, you know, Today, I'm going to give you the cure. And I'm going to give you the seven cure. Oh my gosh, I really like this topic very much. Tonight, I'll be presenting to you the seven cure. And I think it's a fascinating idea that we can really work on the thesis. We have traded on these stocks many times in the past. We make money out of it. But how to make the bigger money out of this stock is what I like to share with you right here today. Okay, so I'm really, really excited. And let me set this up. And I've done enough of the sharing. And of course, every Sunday is a retrospective night. Many things to think about. And, I was. I was also asking God in my journey with Him, really, really fascinating. Um, I just did a wonderful worship over the weekend. This is probably maybe the second best worship I done this year. And when you get into the best worship, the best worship is when you connect with God while you're praising, right? And I know when I'm in that zone, ZONE. How do you know? That's another thing I want to talk about. How do you know when you're in the zone at your spiritual high and you connect with your higher spiritual being? Right? For me, God is my God, and Jesus is my Lord. So I know that from when I was youth in the youth church, Sunday youth. When I was in 13, 14 years old, I already knew this gifting, right? And that is when I sing to a point where my voice can like vibrate. Like if I go karaoke, I can never sing that way one. It's only when I sing praises of God, my voice will vibrate, and then the tears will just stream down on. Then I know, that moment I've connected with God. So I had this experience this weekend, and really, really amazing. And sometimes it's because of the way the worship was conducted, and also depends on your conversation with God. So I had this deep, long conversation with God, and I say, God, the market is so tough right now, right? Whatever I can put in my best, but the market is just like hitting a Red Sea, and it's like Moses looking across. I say, "Hey, open up!" And the Red Sea open up. I say, "When can I have the open up the Red Sea moment?" Right? So continue to press on and pray hard. I want my students to make money. I want our investors to make money. Right? So in that calling, and when you are praising and worshiping, then my voice started to vibrate. That means I can like soprano like that. And then while you're in that soprano moment, and then the tears just keep dripping out, you knew for that moment that God has heard you. God was listening to you, and uh, that was the happiness I received, and I'm just happy to share that with you. Okay, are we ready? Wow, today lesson very long, and my cat kind of messed up my whole place here. Oh my gosh, and I kind of holy moly, I lost my ring. I don't know where my ring go to. Okay, anyway, I will have to find it. Hopefully, I can find it. Okay, let's get into our lesson for today. We're gonna solve the seven cures. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's check this out. Eli Lilly's obesity medication looks poised to become $100 billion a year drug. Now, some of you have already read about this, all right? It's not like a new news. It's been some time since May. But how do we translate a drug approval to multiply it 7 times more? All right. And I want to set this as a framework. I think this is really, really gorgeous. So I'm gonna do this right now, and hold on. I hope all my systems are working clear. Okay, it looks like it's good. If the sound is not good, you just have to tell me. All right. So here we go. Let me set this up. So this is $100 billion a year drug. All right. So first of all, we got to know the name, and the name is called Eli Lilly's Mounjaro. That is the product name. Then there's a technical medical name behind it, which I will show you in a short while, right? So if it's $100 billion in annual sales by 2035, if it's approved to treat obesity and several other illnesses, all right? So first of all, we need to know the backdrop. This drug was approved for type 2 diabetes, and the approval was granted in May. And all the patient needs to do is the once weekly injection for the treatment of type 2 diabetes, and that's it, done. But then they realized that there are other peripheral positive cures surrounding this main drug. Now, what are the other seven? All right. So here we go. Total, there's seven. All right. So number one is type 2 diabetes. Then number two is it also can be used as a treatment for obesity. All right. And this is kind of fascinating because in US everyone is like so huge. I tried to buy like Nike Air Jordan clothing for my boys. I couldn't even find a small size. Their smaller size is like three times my size. So that is an issue in the US. So obesity is number one. Then you can also treat kidney diseases. Number two. Then sleep apnea. Number three. NASH. Number four. And pre-diabetes. Number five. And cardiovascular users. Number six. And you add the type 2 diabetes. Total 7 cures with one drug. Holy moly. How to find a product like this, all right? So for the exception of type 2, which was type 2 diabetes was already approved, the other six right now, they'll be going through the clinical trial in phase 2 and phase 3. So this is what got me really excited, all right? And until sometimes if you don't dive into research deeper, you wouldn't know how powerful it is. So I want to take tonight's time just to tackle on this topic. So the technical word for this particular drug is called tizipatide. I hope I pronounce it correctly, all right? Tizipatide, or call it the T2D. So it has been very, very clear that, oops, what's happening? Okay. Suddenly things just flicker for a moment, all right? I hope everything is working fine. All right. It has been proven that it has really brought about a reduction of weight for those suffering from obesity. All right. So this is really, really exciting. And then the treatment for the type 2 diabetes alone costs about $12,700 annually. So this is a high premium product with an immediate target market. So you can see that, I mean, just to administer this drug for type 2 diabetes, they can make money already. But we are interested in making money sevenfold for across a total of 7 different treatments of the key diseases that I highlighted just now, right? So this is the one that's fascinating. Now, from here, I'm going to show you how I go about connecting the dots, all right? So the rest, you guys can go and read it on your own. But I'm going to dive into the actual page itself. This is the drug page. Hello, Mounjaro, and FDA approved. You can see there's they proudly display it right here. Thing, right? And everything that you need to know, you can go to mounjaro.com. This is a product web page itself. Then I go straight into Eli Lilly's clinical trial, right? And of course, You have to find a way to navigate within the parent website, lilly.com. And I came to this part called a clinical development pipeline. So, what is exciting is shown right here. Number one, Mounjaro diabetes is already approved by FDA. That's why you see a green tick right here, right? There's a green tick right here. And then, what is exciting? You go down to phase 3, right? So we are at phase 3. Oops. Phase 3 right here. And then you look for all the TZ peptide, the total plus the diabetes, type 2 diabetes, there will be 6 other diseases that this drug can solve. There are 4 listed here under phase 3 clinical trial. Number 1, this is let me see, this one should be, I think, pre-diabetes, all right, if I'm not wrong. Then this cardiovascular outcome, and then you have obstructive sleep apnea, and then you have obesity, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 more at phase 2. Let's go to phase 2 right here. Phase 2, and right over here you have NASH. Ding, right? And probably there's one more hidden in the phase 1. I'm not too sure, right? Let me go down. Phase 1. No, I think that's about it. So probably there's one I'm missing out in the list here, right? But this is really, really exciting because the one among the 6 of them that will sell out like crazy, the one that we should really focus on is this one, obesity. This will be so hot, all right? So hot. Let me try to figure out right here. This is the one, all right? I mean, if you can take a drug to solve your obesity problem, at the same time protect you from diabetes, plus your sleep apnea, plus what other problem, this would be your step 1, all right? And of course, diabetic patients will just buy it because they are diabetic, all right? But I'm talking about healthy person but put on too much weight. Then for majority of them, their step 1 will be tackling obesity. They don't like the idea of, stop eating carbo and working out, fitness and all that. They want to take an easy way out, just take a drug and then you lose weight. And that will sell like crazy, all right? So that's what I want to highlight to you. But at the same time, we cannot finish the analysis of Eli Lilly without looking at the chart itself, all right? So let me bring out the chart. And again, this chart is like, holy moly. We start from bottom left, 2020, and it looks exactly like a rocket launcher, right? So you start from here, 2020, wow, 45 degrees line. So beautiful. And you look at this line, of course, you have to be very, very patient. You can also look at it this way. 150 to 300, that's 100% profit return, right? But if you want to hit 100% profit return, then you have to track back from here, 300. Let's take it as April. And 150, take it from December, right? So that's from December to December, 1 year plus, that's about plus 6 months, right? So that's about 18 months for you to deliver 100% profit return. Now, when I draw the chart like this, then you begin to understand, oh, teacher, to make 100% profit return, I must be patient to wait for 18 months. Yes, if you are patient, you are willing to wait for 5-10 years, confirm everything will make money. It's just that how can we accelerate the pace even faster according to the art of the time squeeze, right? So you can play it a long-term view if you are patient, or you can go and accelerate and compound the profits, all right? So at this moment, if I count down, come to this level, it's about to hit an all-time high because there's a signal right now. The all-time previous high is 325. is entering into that zone. And if I kind of split it up a little bit more, you will see exactly this point right here. All right. We start from 330 to 350. Right now, the candle just can't wait to enter into the zone right here. And because we have how many candidates on phase 3 clinical trial? Look over here. Total 4 candidates on phase 3. So this is like a mega jackpot just betting on Eli Lilly, and they're going to create a sevenfold, 7 times multiplier out of the main drug, which is the type 2 diabetes. I'm really excited to share with you this opportunity here tonight. And of course, the decision to go in either to buy stock or to buy options, that is an art itself. And if I'm aiming at, there's 4 on the pipeline for phase 3, and, based on those of you who subscribe to our data, you can know when is the actual announcement date. Then you can reverse engineer backwards to determine whether should you go in to buy a stock or go in to buy an options, all right? Because at the stock price of 300 plus, with your small capital, you may not have that kind of leverage. If you have only 5% of your capital, you can only buy $300, you can only buy 1 share. That's about it, all right? So there's always this struggle between owning stocks over a long time, or you go about owning the option to leverage 10 times of the profit. So that is a scenario that we'll tackle in the Don't Stop Believing Trade notification. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you guys tonight, and we kind of overran the time. Sorry for the technical glitch earlier on. I really got to once and for all figure out what's wrong with my mic and all that. I try to get some professionals in to kind of solve this technical glitch. Thank you very much for joining me once again, and I look forward to see you guys again tomorrow. But knowing that this week is going to be nerve-wracking week, we're going to have an inflation data coming out on Tuesday, and then we're going to have a cozy Monday live trading on Thursday. It's going to be a busy week for us this week. And I got quite a number of things lined up as well for my role as the CEO and portfolio manager. I want to thank you guys for watching us real time tonight. And thank you. May God bless you. Good night, everybody. Goodbye.